It is summertime, and that means that the wildflowers will soon be gone. During this time, I usually harvest what last little bits of flowers I find, and also start to focus on my own garden. Yesterday I made the happy discovery of wild chamomile growing among my marigolds. It is also known as pineapple weed, and like dandelions, it's not necessarily considered a gardener's friend. However, many of these weeds are actually quite useful and at times beneficial. It simply takes some knowledge of how to forage and use them. For example, dandelion petals are actually rather sweet and tasty, and pineapple weed smells like a more citrusy version of chamomile, plus it tastes amazing. Of course, one of my favorite plants for tea making is lavender, and I like to harvest and dry it and keep it for the winter months when I am missing spring. Some lavender keeps its scent longer than others. English lavender, for example, doesn't always smell very strongly. However, I find it to be the best for tea making. Still, I like to make a little bundle for drying. All I find you have to do is pinch the flowers between your fingers a little bit to release the scent. Or if I'm going to make tea, I use a mortar. Lavender tea is one of my absolute favorites. I never get tired of it. Even the busiest days require slow moments. Though it's only the start of the summer, my herb garden is doing quite well. It is very abundant, and I am excited to have multiple harvests this year. I love the process of tea making. It is so calming and meditative. It is definitely a labor of love, as you have to harvest quite a lot of leaves to make even one small jar of tea. But in my mind, it's definitely worth it. There are many ways to dry your tea leaves. Over here, it's not very humid, so I can dry them out in the sun within a day. However, you can also use a dehydrator, which is quite useful for large batches. If you are seeking to learn more about tea making, I highly recommend this book. I'll leave the link down below. It was my first introduction to understanding how to grow and take care of tea plants, and it was very inspiring to me. Here are some of my favorite combinations of tea. If you are not already a tea maker, I highly recommend experimenting with some simple herbs that are easy to grow, like mint. It is so wonderful to experience growing a plant and harvesting and consuming it. It really keeps you connected to the natural cycle. embrace and accept the importance of every season, summer is complicated for me. While I spend most of it by the lake and love the feeling of the sun tickling my neck, I'm always aware of the possibility of wildfires. There's evidence of them all over the county, and so many trees have been lost. Wildfires can occur naturally, but many of them are started by accidents or by carelessness. My greatest fear is fire, since I have some memories associated with it that were highly traumatic. But if I ever find myself worrying too much about the unknown, I try to stop and remember the spring. Nature doesn't stop growing just because of the fear of a future that may or may not happen. It blooms and thrives and does what it can with the time that it has. This is something that I need to remember.